Hello friends, Pulkit this side from Gadget Generations, and today I'm going to bring you a brand new review video. Today's video is going to be about a flagship earphone from a flagship boutique manufacturer based out of Philippines. I'm talking about the Flipears Aurora. Flipears, like I mentioned, is a boutique brand based out of Singapore, Philippines, and they deal in mid-fi to high-end earphones, basically starting with the Ether, I guess, priced at $700. Then comes the Artha, which I personally own as well, priced at $1,700, and then the Aurora. Aurora is $2,100, and I received this sample courtesy of Audio Geeks India. They have been doing a review tour for this beautiful earphone in the Indian market, and I'm thankful to them for letting me keep the unit for more than 15 days and having a good time with this with a product of such a level. Well, I will be going to forward the unit ahead to the next reviewer after the shoot is done. Now let's begin with the design and build quality part. First of all, the Aurora, it houses a 10 driver hybrid setup on each side, featuring 6 balanced armature drivers, 2 dynamic drivers and 2 electrostatic drivers on each side. I personally love how beautiful the pair looks. Shells are a bit on the thicker side, but as you can see, I personally feel like sorry. I personally feel like Flipears took inspiration from the Aurora lights for naming and designing the products. Aurora, the lights that are in the northern hemisphere region of our Earth, because the face plate and the inner side of the cavity has this sparkly green and blue color patterns, which looks absolutely stunning. And also I would like to mention, Flipears usually design their products with the design on the inner side as well. I will be adding the b-roll so that you guys can notice that thing. So my Artha also has such a design. The Aurora also has an Ether. I tried a unit briefly, so I guess that one also has it. So for the Aurora, the design and build quality looks absolutely stunning. The shells are a bit on the thicker side, and also one more thing is that the nozzle is a bit on the wider side. The nozzle opening is a bit on the wider side. I actually talked about this to airy, the owner of Flipears, when I met him at the Kanjam Singapore, and I asked him, why does your IEMs have such wide nozzles, because these are not very comfortable for most people, for many people basically. Two friends of mine tried my Artha and they were not very comfortable, although I personally have no such issues. And then Aries told me that this is a part of their tuning algorithm. This thing they called as hone, and they just tune the pair using this something. It is associated with the tuning basically. Secondly, he suggested me to use Eltec Barak ear tips, and they have done an absolutely stunning job for me. With the Eltec Barak, I have no fit issues with my Artha, and I have been using the pair for like a month or something, and on a daily basis. So it was really comfortable with the Aurora as well. Although I have used the Aurora with the pen and liquor ear tips, because these are my new love. I have been trying these beautiful ear tips on almost every other pair of earphones nowadays, and these are extremely comfortable as well. Moreover, about fit and isolation, I get extremely good fit with the set. Let me just wear it up for you. Yeah, as you can see, extremely good fit and proper isolation as well. Well, that's about the design and build quality part. A minor cone over here. The shells are a bit on the thicker side, and since the nozzle, the hone, that thing is also a bit on the wider side. So some people might face some fit issues, but personally, thanks to God that I have decently sized ears, and everything fits me nicely. So I'm just good to go in that regard. About drivability next. I'm fairly easy to drive. The Aurora is fairly easy to drive. You can enjoy it with any given source. In my opinion, in my experience, to unleash the full potential, please give her the best source that you have. Personally, I have tried it with which DAC, that was the Hideous S9 Pro Plus, a budget DAC amp. It was able to get the pair to loud enough, but it was sounding a bit immersive, and I knew that it was not the actual sound about how does the pair sound. So most of my listening is done on this one, the Kine N3 Ultra that I recently grabbed, Kine's latest tube-based mid-fi segment audio player, and my iBasso DX320. Both these devices have been fairly easy to power the Aurora, and gave me no issues at all. So if you have a mid-fi segment music player, or a decent quality DAC amp, like a mid-fi segment or something like the Moon River TI, or something like the Q-Style M15i as well, so you are good to go in that regard. Not very demanding, but loves better sources. That would be my opinion. Next up, onto the sound quality part. For starters, I am simply mesmerized with the amazing sound quality of the Aurora. It sounds massive. The sound stage is really massive and captivating as well. It just grabs you through. It just feels like you are sitting at an auditorium with a grand scale. You can hear minutest of the details quite precisely, because the pair does a great job in presenting with class leading imaging capabilities. Each and every single instrument on your soundstage will be precisely and accurately reproduced, and you can pinpoint it. It is so much clear and so much resolving in that regard. Next up, basic sound signature is more on the balance side. We have a balanced sound signature. The sub bass reach is phenomenal. The sub bass has a great rumbling sensation, and then the mid range is slightly on the pulled back side, but maintains good clarity and resolution for vocals, both male and female vocals. They sound quite natural and lively and full of emotions basically. Next up, we have the treble region. Treble region is very refined and very simply inoffensive, yet very revealing as well. So you get to listen even the minutest of the details with great precision and quality. Also, the treble has good amount of air, so all the instruments are very well separated among each other. Well, that's about the basic sound quality part. Now on to some of the pros and cons basically, in my opinion, for the Aurora. First of all, in the pro section, the sub bass. The sub bass is absolutely phenomenal. It is rumbling and it maintains that sensation throughout the frequency band for you. Next, mid-range although recessed, but retains good clarity and good details and good texture as well, both for instruments as well as for vocals. Treble is like very amazingly done. It is completely inoffensive. It maintains good resolution, and it has that refined signature, which is neither fatiguing nor shouty at all, and presents you with a brilliant response in the treble range. For mid-range and treble, I'm simply in love with the Aurora. Now on to some cons part. First of all, the mid bass. I want some more punch into the mid bass section. For my personal opinion, I want that snappiness and that drums to leave a mark onto the listener. So that is a bit onto the softer side with the Aurora. And next up would be the cable. The stock cable is not a good pair with the Aurora basically. It has a slightly soft resolution throughout the band, and everything sounds a bit soft and more rounded, I would say, in that manner. So for the first part, for the mid bass, and for the second part, these are just the two of the things that I personally feel could have been improved with the Aurora. But for the second part, for the second point, of the cons, I have done a bit of cable rolling onto the set, and then I have came to a conclusion that this cable is a perfect match for this one. This one is the Vortex Minerva cable, priced at somewhere around $450, with the silver plated and silver hybrid design structure. It pushes the upper mids a bit onto the front, brings more emotions in the vocals, and adds a bit of punch into the mid bass section as well. So brilliant combo. And also it doesn't has that soft texture. In fact, it has a very crisp and very well much more defined presentation with the Aurora. So for me, for my entire listening session, for the first 2 days, I used the stock cable of the Aurora. But apart from that, in the future days, like for the rest 13 or 14 days, I have used it with the Minerva, and I'm simply outstumped with the amazing quality that the set has offered me. Next up, I would like to compare it with the Artha. So let me just pull it out of the box and then I will talk about it. Hey guys, so here is my Artha, and I have paired her with the Vortex Lavinia, the flagship cable from Vortex. And basically Artha and I have a bit of background basically. So I first heard her when Mr. Sajid Amit from Amplify Audio Reviews had bought a unit, and he visited India, and I got to meet him. And even at that moment, when I first listened to the set, I just told him that, sir, whenever you are going to sell this one, please sell this one to me because I am just loving it and it just sounds lovely. And he was like, okay Pulkit, we will discuss on that. And then later on when he sold, I was out of funds, so couldn't get a unit, but a good friend of mine got it, and the rest is history. I just grabbed the unit from him. So here is my Artha, here is the Aurora, and I have been enjoying both the sets for the past month. These have been on my regular rotation, apart from some other sets in my collection like the Nightjar Singularity. So how do these two compare with each other? First of all, Aurora and Artha. Aurora is more balanced of the two. It has a slightly U-shaped presentation, but it sounds more balanced. Artha on the other side has a W-shaped presentation and sounds a bit into the face. I'm not saying that it is bad or good in that regard, but it is a bit forwarded in its presentation. It's not shouty or harsh by any means, but it is a bit forwarded, while the Aurora maintains a good balance throughout the band. Next up, the sub bass reach on both the sets is phenomenal, with the Aurora presenting with a bit better response in the sub bass rumble. On the other hand, Artha has more punch in the mid bass, the thing that I mentioned to be missing on the Aurora. Next up, for vocals, clarity, texture and everything, it is quite comparable on both the sets. Artha just sound a bit forwarded, while Aurora maintains a bit of slightly recessed presentation. Treble on the other hand has more refinement, more open presentation on the Artha, while on the Aurora, while the Artha maintain, it is again really good sounding but not up to the level of Aurora. So for $400 extra, yes, the Artha retails for $1,700 and the Aurora retails for $2,100. You get extra sub bass reach, you get extra definition in the treble region. While both the sets are really competent, you guys should choose based on your own listening preferences. This is my opinion on both these sets, because for me, for my personal listening preferences, I see myself going more towards the Artha side, because the forwarded vocals, and since I'm a vocal lover, so that maintains a good love relationship with me. Well, that's about my comparison and that's about my review for the Flipears Aurora. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. If you guys really do, kindly leave me a like, and if you guys have any questions related to the Flipears Aurora or even the Artha, you guys can ask me in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I am regularly creating more and more hi-fi audio related content on this channel. Well, that's Pulkit for you from Gadget Generations. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video, and thanks for staying till the very end. Thank you so much.